Welcome to Man of Steel Fan Gives Hope, and yep, this is officially now the last day of me having this car. Right, so if any are new to the page, this is just a Facebook page. This is a YouTube. This isn't a Facebook page. This is a YouTube. Based on a page I started on Facebook called Man of Steel Fan Gives Hope. So if you're on Facebook, go there and you'll come across the page. This is just a YouTube of me, just talking basically, giving my views, maybe answering any comments or questions sent in. I'm not anybody in the know. I'm just a guy or girl, whatever, like yourself out there, that has to put up with a lot of biased stuff. So I thought I'd create this wee channel, not very sophisticated, just me, mobile phone, and use guys and girls. So I bought this graphic novel, right? Bought that one. Yeah, I know I'm slow to start off, but I'm also, I collect DVDs, I collect games, I collect, so I have to chop and choose. And also I have that collection of all your subscribers or followers know, and that's like they send free books like every month, so that's more money, so you just got to watch what you spend. And I got that omnibus of Rebirth, and I thought that was fantastic, even though I hadn't read the previous story and how we all got to that situation. So I could look it up online and stuff. But I enjoyed Rebirth, and it was just a general good idea. I know there's something to do with Watchmen attached to it and stuff. So as I said, I bought this. Now, this book was £14.99. That's dear. And that's paperback, USA is $16.99. Now that's a lot of money, to spend on something that may take you, about 20 minutes to read. But saying that, I still prefer them than graphic novels. Now, I've made videos before about comics and, stuff you read online, online comic things, which I hate. I believe in the smell of the page and stuff. And what got me is it says Volume 1, right? Son of Superman. Then I was in the same shop and there was another DC Universe Rebirth, and this was like the action one, and that was also Volume 1. And I can't remember whether that was maybe Doomsday or something. I know Doomsday was in it. I'm thinking, what was the first one to buy? I'm looking back. Blockbuster's Rebirth marks the beginning of a new era for him. Man of Tomorrow. What would I buy? Do I buy this one first, or do I buy the action Superman? And that's what really gets. Don't get me wrong, as I say, I love comics, but that is my beef about comics. Now, and as I say, I collect comics. I've got boxes and boxes of comics in my cupboard, and they're all cellophane and whatnot. But it just got to the stage where I just can't jump on a train every day to the nearest place that sells my comics, buy a comic that's about, I don't know, £5, just for something that's like 6 pages. So I like the fact that you can buy, hopefully, what you call a complete story in the graphic novel, and you get a wee bit of the artwork and things behind that. So I like that, the wee sketchbook, and that's why I buy it. Now, yeah, I get this. I get why comics, you have these big long stories like Rebirth, and it's going to stretch out, and every character is going to be involved in it, and it's all going to accumulate to some sort of ending. But that means, of course, you've got to then invest money into buying all the different characters to get the whole complete story. I just wish it wasn't so. I just wish that we didn't have as much as, it's like a season TV show where you get all these wee subplots happening in every episode, but in the background you have the one major thing that accumulates accumulates to the season finale. You know, one story all the way through, but different wee stories. And I get, you know, that's what the comics have been doing for years. But I would rather, I just rather pick up a book and read one story. And if it involves so many characters, then shorten it down and make a bigger book and sell it for 30 quid or 40. I'll buy it. You know, I know sometimes you got to wait, but then no matter if you buy the omnibus of the story, you're also going to have so many stories missed out. You know, they're not all going to fit all the stories concerning. So I just prefer when it comes to comics, because everybody's different. I just prefer you buy one story and you don't have to worry about a volume 2, a volume 3, a volume 4, a volume 5. Just tell one story, you know, so many pages, whatever, and put it on the shelf. I like that. You know, and you do get those stories, like I'm reading that Arkham Asylum, so that's a one-off story, and yada yada. I'm probably not making much sense, but I just like reading, start, finished, good, move on to the next. Maybe do away with comics. Now, don't take me the wrong way. It's just, you're buying a comic and it's like 6 pages, well, 10, 15 pages, I can't remember. It's been years since I looked at one, with all the adverts in between. I'd rather that they just take out one of these, you know, and you're buying graphic novels all the time. I would prefer that, you know. But you guys out there and girls, you love buying your comics, you love going out there and looking, shifting through all the different numbers to find your next chapter, and you know, and that's the buzz, and maybe years to come it might worth something. As I say, my Dark Knight Returns book is worth quite a lot of money, because I bought it when it was, like, just came out, bought it in a joke shop. So that's my sort of take on that. Let me know what you think about getting more complete stories instead of like buying so many, you know, and trying to constantly all throughout the year, and by the time you've got a big box of comics that length, I'd rather just accumulate, and whatever you need to know is in the one book, and you're not having to wait. Like, because everyone that's collecting Rebirth, they're far ahead of me. I'm volume 1 and I'm just started on Superman. But again, I'm collecting Injustice. I've just ordered another one, and that's another £15. You know, but then again, that saved me on travelling fares to and fro in the comic shop and waiting weeks on end and stuff like that until I read what happens next. So that's more than beef. I just wish they maybe change the scheme or something, change the system when it comes to comics. I know you can probably go online and get the whole complete story, but again, I do like the comics. I like the graphic novels. Anyway, that's my beef. Okay, that's about as negative as I go. I'm not going to stop buying the graphic novels. You know, I'm not going to try and, you know, I'm going and not buy it. I just, it's pretty dear. So that was one book. I've ordered the Injustice year 5, volume 2, and you know, that's about 30 quid just for 2. You know, so it's expensive stuff. The second topic I want to do is directors. I am getting sick of death of going online and seeing this director is walking out. You know, first we had Ben Affleck, he's stepping down from director, then he had Comic-Con, he's standing up. So just because I dropped out of being a director doesn't mean I'm, you know. And so then you've got, who's been the director of Flash? Oh, Flash has lost another director. Suicide Squad 2 has lost another director. See, for me, they haven't lost any directors. Okay, in order to lose something, you must have had them in the first place. You must have signed a contract. Yeah, they must have started work, and then they went, not happy with this. You've lost me now. Take me out of my contract. I'm away. You know, so you get all these clickbait sites, and you get all these YouTube channels that should not. You know the ones I'm going to say if you're a follower. So I'm trying not to bring that group up, but you get all these people and or ex-people of famous YouTube channels that have now went on their own and you get, oh yes, we're delighted he has left. This director has left Suicide Squad 2 because that director's rubbish and stuff like that. And look at the films he's done. Listen, until you get an official comment from the studio saying, this is the director of such and such, then, it's not them, it's just people. Warner Brothers may have a list, and they're saying, right, we'll look at all the people on the list and who can do it. Here's our general idea. We've got the script. This is it. Because I feel sorry for directors, because they want to make their own film. Just like George Lucas started up his business and Steven Spielberg started up theirs, and they could then make the movies that they want without having to go through a studio. But directors, they have to do a film for them in order so they can make a film. And Ben Affleck's done that because he made those successful films like The Town and Argo, and that made him more of a, he can then go to Warner Brothers and say, I'll give you that. I'll sign on to be Batman if you let me do this film. So directors, for me, is the same thing. They've got to build up their interest. They're going to take a year off or so out of their lives to do something that basically they weren't going to do in the first place. So it's getting people in. So when somebody says that they're walking away and doing another film, it's not that they've lost it. You can only lose something when you own it or when you have it. These are just people that might have been randomly asked, but who is the source? And most people that come up with, we are looking at Mel Gibson. Who told you? Your source. Who's your source? I'm not liable to say, because you're talking bilkish. Okay, so for me, forget all this stuff about losing directors, because it's just, it's not happening. They've got the plans. Warner Brothers shows you the films that they've got in development, and they're getting the writers and everything else down. The Batman is now turned into a trilogy, which wasn't before. Ben Affleck is relieved, running through a hard time. We had all that pressure online about the Batman film being good. Now the pressure's been lifted off him. You see, but of course all these other websites will say, he doesn't want to be Batman anymore. No, because it's a lot pressured job, especially if you started off in the DCEU as somebody not favourable to play the character you're going to be playing. But he's turned that around. Now they're jumping on the wagon and went, oh no, now they're going to kill him off, and Batman Beyond is going to be, and they're going to rekindle. How many times did Ben Affleck have to say that? But now he's happy that Matt Reeves has came on. Matt Reeves says, listen, I have an idea. You get me. I'll make it a trilogy. I'll make 3 films for you, Warner Brothers. So yeah, Warner Brothers, brilliant, yes. And you promise to somehow stay around this sort of vision. Yeah, I'll sort of promise. Yep. There we go. And that's what they're trying to look for, somebody that's dedicated for something like The Flash or Suicide Squad. Somebody that's passionate for the role. So until they find and sign on the dotted line that they're directing it, then they haven't got a director. They've never had a director. So they can't lose a director. Now, calm down. Now, this is going to be awkward, okay? And for some of you out there that have got strong views about these things, but I have friends from all different walks of life. Gay friends, lesbian friends, transgender, transvestites, just everybody you can think of, Muslims, Hindus, whatever, right? All variety of life. I talk to them, no bother, okay? So, one of my friends, Tam O'Neill, emailed us and said, listen, he's a wee bit worried that he's not getting represented. And so this is what's going to get tricky. And I says, what do you mean? Well, I says, we've got gay heroes, Batgirl and stuff. I says, what about the other society? And I've said this before. If you're talking about, I believe it's, I know it's saying gay. Tam, I apologise. Okay, but I believe he may be a wee bit of a trans transvestite, which is nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. If you're trying to, I mean, have you seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show? Okay, I mean, those guys and those sexy lingerie, fantastic, right? And you had one guy playing the baddie and stuff like that. I just think there's a in the world that we live in, we're all trying to be PC, and we look, and I done a video about the Doctor Who and how he's basically everything now. He was a man, now he's a woman. So basically, he can either be a transvestite, he can be a transgender, he can be a whatever. So he's basically a hero for everybody. But would it work in comic books? Well, for me, as long as the character's right. I mean, everybody just now, even from TV shows, right? TV shows, they seem to be, right, we need some sort of gay couple, and we need a coloured person and one of the main roles. And then the women have got, and now we're having films where women are kicking ass, and thankfully Wonder Woman showed men in a good light as well, but then you had your Ghostbusters that made men look stupid. And, hello, Alien, Sigourney Weaver, hello, she was kick-ass, okay, but everything's sort of just PC. And so if you were going to make a hero for yourself that represents you being transvestite or transgender, whatever, I think there isn't a character, as far as I know, out there that represents that. But then again, Batman's known to wear tights, so is Superman, so you can look it up. But most people I know that transvestites, whatever, or transgender, they love Wonder Woman. They've got love Wonder Woman, but to have somebody that representing them, well, then you would first of all have to come up with a character. Don't use a character that's already existing and then change it. Okay, that ain't going to work. But I think because of the way the world is just now, and how some people still have problems with gay communities or black people or white people or whatever, then a lot of those issues will have to be in the mainstream of story. And if those are the mainstream of story, it's not exact. It might be a good thing or a bad thing, because is it a good thing to highlight these issues? Is it a bad thing? Will it make things worse? Well, we know the trouble in America between the black and the cops and stuff like that. We're telling stories about that. We've had druggies, okay. We had Batgirl, she's a lesbian. We have the a couple of Montoya and Arrow that's now gay and stuff, and a couple in, is she gay? I can't remember. Was it? Sorry, Supergirl, and they're gay. Now, a mother kicked up, complaining, and I says, no, that maybe your daughter should learn about these things. Amsterdam's kids get taught at a young age about all the different kinds of love, and they've got naughty magazines on the ground because they're all, they're fine with it. They're okay. See what you want with them. They've got the lowest teenage pregnancy rate in the world, so because they educate the kids better than most of the world when it comes to sex and religion and everything else. They're all open-minded. But I think as far as comics, if you were to take, okay, for instance, okay, if Shazam, okay, suddenly turns out to be, a transvestite, okay, or transgender one, you're going to spend, that's one bugger up kid, okay, because suddenly she's, okay, let's say Shazam's a girl, okay, and she's going to grow up, suddenly she says a magic word, and suddenly she's a woman, okay, and, oh god, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, and so she's a woman, so she's got to then deal with being a woman, but does she actually want to be a woman, or does she want to be a man? And then that'll take most of the story away. Or if she's there are so many complications writing about all these things, and I think because the world is hard enough for those groups of different people and different nationalities, I think they would spend most of the time concentrating on just getting through a life, through life, dealing with their own self and dealing with people and how they act towards you. Okay, so I hope that helps you, Tam. Okay, so just be positive out there. You never know. This is a new world we're living in, and new characters are cropping up everywhere. Okay, everything's all getting PC, so who knows? Might be in your lifetime that somebody will crop up, because it's not there. That means it needs to be invented, because hey, everybody needs a hero, you know. And now we finally got Wonder Woman after how many years? 75 years. We finally get a superhero woman that's now taking the box office. Okay, I think it will just take a lot longer before the world is ready for the likes of yourself and people like it. And it's sad, because I do feel for you, and people like that, they're having to deal with ignorance and stuff like that. So let us know what you know about what you think about graphic novels, on directors. Leave your comments down below and be positive out there. Thank you.